Going now to page 118, to the Pleasant Morning. This is probably the most complicated piece you have played this entire semester. And it will be a great piece for you to try for your finals. It uses different inversions of C and G and scale-wise passages, so it's quite complicated, and for that we're going also to approach this hand separate. We'll start with left hand first, and we're going to recognize each one of these chords that you have. So let's start with the first measure. You see that you have a C major chord in root position, which means you're going to play that with 5-3-1. Then in the second measure, you see that you have notes D, F, and G. So that would stand for G7, right? So I have a G7 in second inversion with fingers 5-2-1. Sorry, with fingers 4-2-1. I have that 3 times staccato. And then in the third measure, I have a G major chord inverted. So I have B, D, and G. Which inversion is that? Based on the fourth interval that we have discussed. Look at the fourth interval. It's between your middle and your top voice. So this is a G major first inversion with fingers 1-3-5. And then again, going back to C major in staccatos, root position, 5-3-1. Going to the second line, C major triad, root position, 5-3-1. And I'm going to expand my hands. I'm going to extend my thumb, although you can't really see that in the camera, but you can see the rolling motion of my wrist. So my thumb is going to go one step higher on A, and I'm playing F and A together with 2 and 1. So this is my 4 chord in C major. And then I'm jumping, so I'm completely releasing the hand and going to a new position where I play G, C, and E. So this is C major inverted again. Try to find the inversion. Look at the fourth interval between your bass and your middle note. So this is C major in second inversion with fingers 5-2 and 1. Going to G major in root position, 5-3-1. And last measure, we go from G root position to tonic, C and E, where again you need to extend your thumb one step higher and you play C and E with 1 and 2. So let's try again, left hand alone with counting. Remember that for staccato, we start from the surface of the key and we go up as short and light as we can. 1, 2, 3, and go. 5-3-1. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, rest. 2, 3, 4, extend your thumb. 2, 3, 4, release your position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, extend your thumb, 3, rest. Okay, now we're going into the right hand where you have all these scale-wise passages. Basically, you have a C major scale, but you start on different notes every time. So you see in the first 2 measures, you have an ascending C major. And then you invert it, so you start with the G, and you play exactly the same note, so don't get confused. This is not a G major, this is a C major scale. It just starts on a different note. And you're doing again the same finger. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see that I'm using the same motive in the first 2 measures, and then I'm repeating again. This is called sequence in music, when I have the same thing in tonic and then the same thing in dominant, or the same thing in tonic and then the same thing a third above. You see? Let me do that one more time so you can hear it. You see that it's the same idea, but it starts on different keys. And then in the second line, I start again on treble C, and I play another C major scale ascending. Next to that, I play a C major descending scale, starts on B. And then same thing, starts on E. Careful here, you have to contract your hand. So instead of playing 2 on D, you actually have to play 3 on D. And you end, of course, on C, which is my tonic. So let's do right hand a couple more times, and let's do that with different ways. First, we will do finger numbers because this is the most effective for this piece. We're going to take that slowly as we have lots of eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and finger numbers. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3. Rest. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 1, 3, 2. I hope you noticed how much I was paying attention to the slurs and how much I was breathing every time I didn't have a connecting line between 2 notes. Now I'm going to do the same singing the letter names. I'm going to sing the notes. 1, 2, 3, and go. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, and G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, F, E, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, D, E, F, G, C, D, E, F, B, D, C. And lastly, I'm going to do the same thing with counting. I'm going to subdivide my counts in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because I'm full of eighth notes. 1, 2, 3, and go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and rest. And now I'm going to try hands together. I'm going to get a little bit closer so you can see both my hands. 1, 2, 3, and go. And those of you who want to do that for finals, I'm going to try one more time a little bit faster so that you know how the pacing should feel as you prepare that for your final examinations. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, it's a very challenging one. I know it will take you a lot of time to prepare, but it really worth it. It's really pretty. So I hope that some of you will choose that for the end.